Mi gente was good. First of all, let me give you my sincere apologies for not being able to post an episode of these weekly journal entries last week. The idea, again, publish someone's story on Tuesdays and then on Fridays be able to give y'all my audio slash video journal entry. Keeping it real, I had an episode recorded and I deleted it by mistake. And I was so embarrassed and frustrated that I'm just like, man, fuck this shit, you know? And, but still, the urge to continue with this series and be consistent is what I'm doing today. So, today, Monday morning, which hopefully is the same day that I'm going to release this episode, I'm coming to y'all with that weekly entry. So I'm still going to try to give you, we're still going to do the Tuesday episode this week, and we're still going to give you that additional, well, not additional, but like we're still going to give you that Friday episode as well this week. So let's get started with this audio slash video journal entry. Something that I've been, and I'm not sure what the feeling is, so maybe I'll get into that midway through this journal entry, but something that I've been struggling with is this idea of audience versus community. And I've been challenging myself lately on that. Have I built a community? Is the question that I'm asking myself. Because I've heard a lot of people say, oh my God, I love the community you've built, or oh my God, you have such a big community, right? And I don't think I have a community. I don't think I've built a community. And I'm not saying that to be, you ain't done shit. It's more so a challenge. Like I'm taking it as a challenge and I'm taking it as something that I want to do in 2024. Right now, I think I have an audience. And even more complicated, I think I have audiences. Hear me out. There's content creation or production, and then there's content distribution, right? So I create content, whether it be um, whatever, I just create content, right? But think about the distribution, right? So you're probably listening to this on one of the popular podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, maybe YouTube if you're into the videos. And that's one specific audience. Let's call it the podcast audience, right? Some people don't listen to the full episodes. They just keep up with the newsletter, right? Because Sarah, shout out to the editor and producer, Sarah. She sends a dope summary of what the episode's about. And maybe for some people, it's like, oh, that's enough for me. Some people, so right, there's like an email audience. Then some people are just like, yo, I really just fuck with the clips. Cool. Social media audience. And then even within social media, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's LinkedIn where I publish like more of my personal perspective on whatever we're doing, right? So on and so on, right? You can only imagine the other different channels that we've done. Matter of fact, like the one event that we've ever thrown, there's people that went to that event because a friend told a friend. Meanwhile, they before that event didn't follow us on any of the other channels that I'm talking about. And yes, there's probably some overlap between things, right? Maybe somebody that follows myself or us on Instagram also follows us on also follows me on LinkedIn, but I would imagine that it's pretty separated and I don't think there is as much overlap as I'd like to think. So not only is it difficult to get one message or piece of content out to all these different audiences and make sure that everyone is receiving the same message, right? The other challenge, and this is the part that I am really beating myself up over is that you don't know each other. Like there's people that follow me on TikTok and then there's people that follow me on LinkedIn and they don't know each other. And I think that's a big missed opportunity. And that's what I think community is. I think community is like I think when you have an audience, it is you being the sole communicator for the most part, right? People follow you, subscribe, whatever you want to call it, because they care about what you have to say. And it's kind of like it's a complicated there's complication because there's so many different places where people can find you. I think community is where you can take yourself out of it, out of the conversation of the situation, and people are able to talk amongst themselves. People are able to connect and build without you being the sole communicator. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Like yeah, but then I think about, okay, how do I bring people together? Because I also think that there needs to be, or helps if you have some sort of central location where these people can facilitate whatever they want to facilitate without you being there. Because the community comes together because of the shared vision, values, ambitions, interests they have now and for what they want to see in the world. And maybe it starts with you, but then it blossoms and grows into something much bigger. And I think having a central location really helps. Not that I'm really into religion, but I think of my abuela or my mom. I think a community that they have are other folks that go to the same church. They have a central location, a consistent time every week that they see each other and share that common interest, vision, etc. Right? I think about a shout out to Diddy, who is the owner of a really dope clothing, apparel, lifestyle brand. I'm not sure what to call it. Called MRFU. Go check them out. They have Viernes Social every Friday at his shop. So he has a clothing store uptown around Inwood Dykeman area. And every Friday, he it's a central location where people come together. And I've gone to a few of the events, and you just get to meet a bunch of really it's a really dope mix of people from creative to local hood folks to corporate, right? And the shared interest and commonality is Diddy and the clothing and art and all the sort of things that he put together. But you're able, like, it's a consistent time, place, agenda, maybe whatever. And I don't think I've had that. I don't think I've had that. And right now I'm talking about like in person communities, let's call them, but there are a bunch of digital ones as well. I think about my friend Adonis, who is a full-time streamer these days. And he streams damn near daily on Twitch. It's Twitch, for those of y'all that don't know, it's the most popular live streaming platform in the world. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so it's not YouTube, it's not it's Twitch. And most people play video games on Twitch, right? But they do other things like people just do like live talk shows, podcasts, whatever. It's just a live streaming platform. But most people play video games, and then people like myself will watch other people play video games. It may sound strange, but it's fun. Whatever. I'm saying all that to say that Adonis has a big following on TikTok. He has a following on YouTube. He has his Instagram. But despite all of those channels where he distributes his content, everybody knows that, let's say 5, 6 days a week, however long, how often he streams, they know that if they want to engage with him directly, not in the comments, I'm talking about in a live experience, and if they want to engage with the other people that watch him on Twitch, they know that that is the location, Twitch. It's a digital live streaming platform, and I've joined his lives. And the dope thing is cool. Like he's entertaining, he's playing a bunch of video games, but the cool thing from like a viewer's perspective and a creator's perspective is seeing the community interacting with themselves. So yeah, in that experience, he is the primary communicator. But people are having conversations in the comments or in the chat section without him. They're having separate conversations about something that he may not even be talking about. Or maybe he starts the conversation about a certain topic and they continue it and they're having conversations amongst themselves. You know what I mean? That is so dope because he has turned his passion, his job even, his career into a community. I don't think I have that. I don't think I have that. Like I need, rather, maybe I want, because I don't need it. Whatever. I want to have or want to build live experiences, whether they be digital and or in person, to build community. Selfishly, I'm an extrovert. I just love being around people. I'm inspired. I pull from the energy. I'm an extrovert. I get energy from being around people. And I don't need to like talk to people all the time, but it's one of the reasons I go to coffee shops to work. It's one of the reasons why I prefer working out at an actual gym compared to the home gym that is in my building. Being around people gives me the energy and inspiration. That's it. It just gives me energy and inspiration. And number two, the reason why I want to do this is because I know that being in a community positively impacts your mental health. I know that. There's a bunch of research which I don't have on me, top of mind, but it's easily searchable. Let me drink some coffee. Hold up. Oh, it's delicious. Delicious coffee. I know that it has a positive impact on people's mental health. Not only that, but I know that seeing the representation of a lot of these dope individuals that are in, I want to say in my community or in our community, but I'll just say in our audience. I don't know. It's weird. I know that they, like, y'all can be representation for each other. Like I want y'all to meet each other and be like, yo, she's doing that and she looks like that. Oh shit. That means I could be myself because she's doing it, Or like, yo, he did what? Yo, how you got that job? Yo, share game. And y'all could like share games, share tips, talk amongst each other. I like y'all are just doing so much dope shit, and I know because y'all tell me. I know because I follow y'all. I know because we connect. But I don't want to. I don't want to be. I don't want to hold. Wow. I want to say. I was gonna say I don't want to hold y'all back, but like I want to be the facilitator of those connections. I just think it's powerful. So selfishly and unselfishly, I think there's a lot of benefits to that. But here's where I struggle, right? Because all right, some of y'all are listening to this and you're just like, well, we'll go do it. Go host an event. Go live on whatever platform. I think that I get in my head around the is it analysis paralysis? Or like maybe it's too many options. It's the reason why. All right, the example that I can share is like if you go to Cheesecake Factory, you're just like, yo, how many pages does this damn menu have? You're like, I don't know what I want, right? But let's say you go to Shake Shack or you go to In and Out and they legit have five things on the menu. It's very simple. It's like, oh, I came here for this. I know what I want. Or if I don't, I have to choose between two options, right? Even the idea of going live digitally, I'm just like, yo, what platform do I pick? Like, do I start a Twitch? Do I just go live on where people follow me the most? Do I choose TikTok? Do I choose LinkedIn? Do I it's just like so many things, right? That's one thing. And some of y'all may be thinking, all right, well, go live on all of them. But then that creates the problem of the one central location. You know what I mean? And I want to have that one central location. Cool. The second part is I want to do live events. There are so many ideas that are in the works around live events. And I don't even want to say the word events. I want to say the word experiences. Cuz somebody said this to me the other day. I forgot who, but and I'm going to butcher the quote, but they said something along the lines of people don't forget experiences. People don't forget the feeling that they had when they walked into an experience. You know what I mean? Says something like events are forgettable, experiences aren't. I want to give y'all an experience. But then I get in my head. I'm like, experiences take time. Experiences cost money. uh you doing too much with experiences. You know, people don't even care about experiences. People just want to get together, see each other, have a drink, maybe dance a little bit. Isn't that an experience, P? Like, why you got to do all this other shit? And then I'm going through all of these thoughts, and then I just like overthink things to the point where I don't do anything. Like I brainstorm and I journal and I like you're hearing me right now going through this like circle of just like thoughts that are leading me nowhere because I'm just talking and not doing it, right? So yes, eventually I will just do it, but that over analysis of things is something that I struggle with and have been struggling with, right? And because all right, I have so many ideas and I want to do all of these goals. Hopefully I can do all of these this year. I want to get back to doing the live podcast recording with time to like socialize, mix, network, do all of those kind of things with drinks and food and blah blah. We did that 2 years ago. Damn, was it 2 years ago? That's sad. Damn, yeah, we did that 2 years ago, and I want to do more of that. It went well. We don't gotta reinvent the wheel. Let's do it again. The other thing I want to do is I want to have art exhibits. I worked with an artist, shout out to Junior Designs, to commission artwork that will help you reimagine what professionalism could look like. I'll just say that, right? So we took like professions like astronauts and doctors and police officers, whatever you a bunch of different professions, and I gave him like an just that statement. I was like, yo, try to reimagine them if they were allowed to be themselves. And it's dope artwork and I want to display it. And I'm thinking of instead of doing like a gallery, I'm trying to host like Plurawl takeovers at coffee shops. You know, play along with the theme and the idea of working. I work from coffee shops, coffee within the culture. We love cafecitos, right? And just using that space to as like an art exhibit. Yeah, that's one I want to that's one I want to do as well. And also, I think that's an idea that I can take to any coffee shop, right? Like once I do it, Again, I got the pictures and the videos and behind the scenes and the data that be like, yo, people fuck with it. And I brought people fuck with it, and I brought in new customers to this coffee shop that they didn't know about. I could take that on tour nationally, globally, right? And part of it, of what I also want to do besides commissioning artwork, if we did that once, we can start like an art contest and have a bunch of different artists to reimagine different professions if they were allowed to be themselves, right? So that's something I want to do as well. And it doesn't even have to just be artwork. Imagine if it's like photography based and I take pictures of people as they're on their way to work. And then within that exhibit, there's like quotes next to the picture, be like, yeah, this is my fit, but I'm not really comfortable in this. And they show a picture of them like on the weekends and be like, I wish I could dress like this. Oh my God, that's such a dope exhibit. All right. That's the next one. And then the other one that I want to do, oh my God, there's a bunch. All right. So the other one that I want to do is within that Plurawl takeover experience at the coffee shop, I want them to give me one day where people within our community can come and work together. So we create like a Plurawl co-working space. For that one day, you can still get work done, but it'll be amongst people that look like you. We got some good music playing in the background. And at the end of the co-working day, we'll open it up for happy hour, pop some bottles of wine, and we'll just like, we'll be productive. And then at the end of it, we'll get to know each other. We'll, turn the volume up a little more on the music. You feel me? And there's limited seats for the co-working space. So after that, we'll clear the seats and it'll just be more of like a mixer. So that's another one. And then the last one is when we launch the app, I want to have like a launch party. And that ain't no mixer, that ain't no networking. The music's gonna be loud and we throwing ass. You feel me? Like, and there's gonna be live salsa band. There's gonna be after they stop, Bad Bunny gonna be playing, all the hookah smoking, drinks flowing. Like that's another event that we're gonna do. And I want to do all these events, but the biggest thing that stops me is the over analysis of everything. And it sounds easy. Pabel, stop overanalyzing. Just do it. It sounds easy, just like everything. Oh, you want to lose weight? Go to the gym. It sounds easy. But the biggest hurdle for me is it's just the mental. I got to get out of my head. Because these are all dope events. You're probably listening to this and you're like, shit, I want to go. you know? As I drink some coffee for those that are not watching on YouTube. The other thing that comes in my head is anyone gonna show up? Which is funny because the one event that I did 2 years ago, I had a week's worth of time to promote it and it sold out. 300 people signed up in a week and there wasn't even enough room for people to sit down. It was like standing room. And people were still being like, yo, that event was fire. So how many of these stories in my head that I'm making up are actually realistic? Not many. All right. Well, the more that I talk about it, the more I just got to do it. And I didn't say a feeling at the beginning of this. And I still don't know what that feeling is when it comes to this. Maybe it's maybe it's disappointment in myself. Because the expectation that I had for myself was that I would have a community by this point. Maybe I'm disappointed because I only have an audience. And those are expectations that I have for myself. No one is coming for me and being like, yo, you haven't built a community yet. What are you waiting on? That's just pressure that I put on myself. It's a timeline I put on myself. I know that. I'm extremely self-aware. And I'm also excited to be with you, to be with y'all, to share space with y'all, to come together and and see the various side conversations happening, and be like be a curator and a facilitator of these experiences that I want to put together. So mixed feelings again. It wouldn't be Plurawl if I didn't embrace the and, the multiple emotions that I have. Plurawl, more than one. If not, I would have named this bitch Singular. I would have named the brand Singular. But embracing the mixed feelings that it is. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but I'm also excited. I'm disappointed and I'm also excited. All right, y'all. I'm going to go put in that work so we can put these together. Thanks for listening.